Okay. Gotcha. All right. So the topic this month is let's talk about Christmas ornaments. I thought it's time to start planning ahead. That way we've got a successful party and we can we can be prepared for when Christmas party rolls around and have wonderful ornaments to exchange. What are you seeing on your screen?
I'm seeing you.
Okay, good, because I'm seeing you and it's not changing to the speaker. Okay,
I've got a gallery view, so I see
I
everybody.
do too, yeah.
okay. So we're off and running. So Dick, you sent some things in. Shall I bring up your stuff and we'll talk about that as a way of getting started?
Well, you can, unless you want to get started with Mark so that we're sure that he has enough time to leave and get to his appointment.
That'll work. Mark, go ahead.
Okay, I'm unmuted, it looks like. So I haven't done a lot of Christmas ornaments, but this last Christmas, I decided I needed a few of them. So what I did was create some resin ornaments, and I gave them all away, so I don't have them physically to show you, but I have a picture, and here's the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so I don't know if you can get it there, but if that shows up well enough. So how I created that was I got a piece of PVC, and this in the bottom of it is a silicone plug you put in here, and you can buy those at oh, what's the name of that place we go to, Bruce, down in
Turner's.
Turner's Warehouse. Yeah,
Warehouse.
thank you. But you can buy these online, I think. Silicone plug fits right in there. This is a 2-inch PVC pipe. So put that plug in there, and then I took some pieces of olive wood, broke them up, and then put those into that PVC pipe, mix up the resin, put some red color in there, and then just pour it in. And that creates a long cylinder there, and then cut them on bandsaw. And I got four, I think I got 4 out of this one, but and the one I showed you there is just one, and then this one right here, I don't know, does that come through clear enough?
Yes.
Well, it's a bell, and then there were a couple of other smaller ones there that you can buy these little kits at I think it was at Woodcraft, but little kits, and they only cost maybe $5 a piece or something, but the kit itself. So, and put them on there, and then you just create your own shape. This particular one was kind of destined for a Christmas tree because it had the little dome at the top and the little thing at the bottom that it screws in. So I don't know what else to tell you about it. It was pretty easy turning and then put together. So that was it. Any
Excellent.
questions?
Did you turn the PVC pipe that it was in, or did you take the cylinder out before you started?
Well, that's a good question, Dick. It came out easily.
Oh, okay.
Wood is still in there. So when I was all cured, finished with the resin pour, then I just took the bottom out, and then got a mallet and just knocked it out, and it come out real easy.
Okay.
So it It was nice. Oh, I did put it in my pressure pot, to make sure I got all the bubbles out. So,
It helps if you use a little mold release on that too.
I can't remember if I used mold release or not. That was that was back in December when I did that. So I can barely remember.
Resin you used?
I'm sorry.
Do you remember which brand of resin you used?
I used Total Boat
Total Boat, okay.
2-to-1 cure. So, and it didn't take long. I was turning the ornaments a couple days later after I poured. So that's my method for at least that resin.
Cool.
Any other questions? This olive wood, by the way, is beautiful to mix with the resin. So
Olive wood's beautiful, period.
yes, it is. And I just happen to have these small pieces, little pieces laying around, and I just drop them into that cylinder, poured the resin in. It worked.
Very
I
good.
appreciate being able to go first because I'll be watching the clock and then bailing at 9:30.
Okay. Now let me see. Dick. Kelly, you are up, sir.
Yeah, okay.
And now let me see if I can go and share the right. Well, I've got several things queued up. There we go. Is everybody seeing the snowman?
No, we're seeing your
We're
folder.
seeing your Explorer. Bruce, remember you have to
Open it
pull
first.
up the picture to have it running in the background before you try to share.
Okay,
All we're seeing is Explorer right now.
Dum-dum-dum. So that being the case, go here. Go here. Go here. Go here. Go here. And then I have to get back to Zoom. No, that wants me to.
Bruce, it looks like you may have Dick pinned right now. You may have to unpin him in order to share your screen, because otherwise everything is focused on Dick's screen.
Gotcha. Well, let's go there.
There it is. Whoops.
We've got double screens.
How about that one?
Getting better.
That'll work.
That's looking good, Bruce.
Go ahead, Dick.
Okay. It took me a long time to to get started doing any seasonal stuff for Christmas. And a while back, and I mean years back, I got my first snowman from, and it was one that Gary Frank made with a little twigs for arms. And then, oh, I don't know, a few years ago, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago, I decided to start turning my own. And these are not real big. They're maybe, maybe 3 inches tall or so. And they're spindle turnings, they're solid. And I decided to do Buckaroo snowmen, just give it a little Arizona flavors. And so I made, I did the spindle turning, and then for the hats, I carved those out with a little flex shaft carver to put the dents in the tops of the hats and kind of shape the brim. Then to color them, I just used rattle can white and colored them all white, and then started painting with just regular acrylics and a paintbrush to get the rest of the colors. The nose is a little dowel that was just turned to look like a carrot and stuck in. The arms are they're copper tubing that were just bent, and those again were just laid out flat and sprayed with rattle can white. And so that's all the coloring on them. And there's just a variety of hats. A couple of them have top hats like the classic Santas, but the other ones have either the black hats or the tan ones. I thought those would be like the rancher hats rather than the cowboy hats. So they're a little different. And have you got any questions? The next one shows how I turned them. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, these really are spindle turnings, and if you can imagine, that is three of the roughouts done at the same time, just done as spindles. And you can see starting at the ends, they just kind of go from the bottom to the middle to the head portion, and then a hat, and then they restart with the bottom again. And after I got them shaped out like that, then I just sawed them apart, and that gave me some spindles. And in the drawing above it, you can kind of see how the hat and the rest of it works. Although it doesn't show in the pictures I took, for some of them, for some of them, I just took a little piece of wire and twisted it into a little round holder and drilled a hole in the top. And so they actually will hang from a tree, but they're pretty heavy. So you can kind of put them on a place that will hold them. And so those are the spindle turn ones that I made. And I sold some of those at the Spinners and Weavers combo sale when I was in it the most recent time, which was pre-COVID, I think. So, and I still have those around. I like them. Okay,
Those
the
are
next.
great and they're very fanciful. I like that, Dick. Well done.
Okay. And this is a big one. This is hollow. I probably should have put more pictures of this one, because the bottom comes off right below the red stripe on the base. And the inside of the snowman is hollowed out. And on the base, there's a little Christmas tree that's turned. So when you take the top off, there's a Christmas tree in there. So it's like a twofer. And this again is the same. It's the same plan as the Buckaroo snowman with a big tall hat, and it's all just spindle turning with the little arms and the carrot nose stuck in. But same process. Paint it white with a rattle can first. I turned those little hand things. I didn't know what to do, but anyway. So, and I don't remember who got that. That got handed out at the Christmas party, and it went to somebody who was fairly new in the club, and I hadn't met them because I don't get to meet everybody, only being there half time. So I can't remember who got that, but it was in the club gift exchange.
Dick, I have a question. The hats that you're putting on these, those were turned on the lathe as well?
They're turned right as a integral part of the snowman.
Oh, okay. And then the look, the very top of it, I assume that you just hand carve those or maybe with a file or something. How
Well,
do you
not
create
with a
those?
file, but with a little flex shaft tool with a little carbide bit in it, a little cylindrical carbide bit, and with a bull nose at the end of the bit, and do it in 3 stages. Do the green is the coarse, the yellow is the medium carbide bit, and then just clean it up with a diamond bit. And if you want to go back to the previous one, as the question has been asked about the hat, yeah, that one. That one you can see how you've got the head, and then you've got the hat on top of the head. And so they're just an integral part of the turning there.
I see. Yeah. And then the kerchief that's hanging around the neck, you probably used a Dremel for that as well, right?
Well, I burned those in with pyrography, and for the little round pieces, I have some. Well, they're round tools, and carvers use them to put eyes in bird carvings and stuff. And I've got 3 graduated sizes of that. The turquoise in the belt buckle is the largest size, and then the coal and the eyes and the little turquoise parts on the hat band, those are the smaller size. And so those just punch right in, and they're not difficult to add at all.
I
So
like
that's
your
in the-
idea.
Mhm.
I like your idea of putting that turquoise in there. I wouldn't have thought of that. Nicely done.
Well, it's turquoise paint.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not, these are not real sophisticated.
Okay. Yeah. But still, I like it. It's
Mhm.
very nice.
Very cool. Definitely says Arizona without saying
Mhm.
Arizona. I love it.
I think
Okay.
it's great that you had a hidden surprise inside.
Mhm.
That's a nice extra little feature.
Yeah, and this one, the next 2 are just hollow form vessels with a lid, and the lid, the top. I think that was all one piece, the whole top. So it's got the lid, the head of the snowman, and then the top hat was all was all turned. And that's a little candy jar. You've got the little peppermint candy ones. That was a little jar for, and that made the rounds at the swap, and it ended up with who got that one? Ed Jones ended up with that one. Okay. And that's the most recent one. That's another one that's just, a lidded container, and the snowmen are just drawn on with pyrography and colored with acrylic paints, and the top of it, the little handle on the top, that one I think I did separately. I just turned that like a little cylindrical turning, and finished it off the same way I did the other hats. And that one, that was the most recent. That one was the most recent Christmas swap, and Bill McDonald ended up with that.
Very nice. Okay, now let's see.
Very nice work, Dick. Thanks for sharing those with us.
Yeah, those are
Okay, I
great.
usually get back from Maine and around Thanksgiving, and I seldom participate in the big show over at the Sparks place, and so I usually have time to make a little one before the Christmas party. Make a different one every year.
So now, see if I can navigate this the right way.
Bruce, when you pull up the next picture, you might want to show that picture full screen, because we're getting multiple screens of your screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like I got a whole bunch of things open here. Are you seeing the ornament?
Oh, that's beautiful.
We see it, but cause that to go to full screen. That's better. We're still seeing multiple screens here.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Well, we can see what you're talking, we can see the picture.
Let's see if I can fix that.
That looks good. Even better.
Better?
Yeah.
This one, the credit goes to John Armstrong. This is I have a couple of his that are in my collection that I ended up with as a result of Christmas parties over the year. But that sphere is hollow. So he did the hollow and then he added the two finials. So nice looking, it's a good size, and it's light enough that it's not a big burden on the tree. This is the other one that he did,
Wow.
just using some shells, from the sea and turning some very nice looking finials. This is my early on experiment with inside out turning. And doing it again, I need to make that globe thinner so it doesn't have quite so much weight. And then the beauty of jewelry that falls apart, I just took a little pearl and hung it on the inside, so it showed up in the opening.
So, Bruce, that little pearl, that's just hanging freely with the little string up,
Yep.
up at the top?
It
Okay.
is.
I have a question. Can you go back to the previous slide or picture? So these are sea urchin shells, right?
Correct.
So my question is, are the shells attached to the wood? Is it CA glue or resin or what?
It's
do you
not
know?
resin.
Okay.
I don't know if it's CA glue or epoxy,
Okay.
but whatever it is, it does not show, given how he did the turnings.
Yeah, well, it's too bad he's not here to tell us how he did it, but I was just curious because, like you said, it doesn't show, and it's a very good job of securing that to the wood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And then here's a later version. This is actually easier to do. And it's easy because you start with a perfect cube and drill it from all directions.
And
so-
would you use a Forstner bit or something like that?
yes, I
Okay.
did. And you start when it's all square, and then you chuck it up and then round off the corners. And then add the little decoration to the inside and a little bell on top.
I like the fish hook hanging. That's cool.
Oh, that is, I took 3 strands. Now, this is technical. You ready to write this down?
Yep.
Number 12 copper wire. The ground wire out of it. Clamp it up in the lathe. Turn it on, twist them tight. It makes a stand about, 12 inches tall. And then you take each individual wire. I've got 3 wires coming out of it. Bend it over, and that's what supports and hangs and holds the ornaments for display.
That's cool. Oh, look at that.
And then this is a birdhouse. And that's compliments of Spence. But he likes making these, and that's what he saves his scrap pieces for. That way you've got the different variations. And he found a source for those cute little birds, and that just adds a nice little touch.
Yeah. Very cool.
And then Dick was talking about the snowman. Now I did it. That Gary made, and this was the versions. I ended up liking the natural wood oak look. But it's cute with little, I think, the little twigs for arms. You get all kinds of variety for what the hands are doing and looking like. And my wife does kimohomo braiding, so that's what became the scarf to go around the neck. Now, if I do this way, and then I come down here, and then I go like this.
We can kind of see it, but your background is.
Yeah, I know.
messing it up.
Now, let's see, I can do the,
It's almost working. It's really close.
Bruce, I think you
put
have
that
to
in front of
turn
your-
off the blur background.
yeah, I'm trying to figure that out as my wife's handing me things.
Go to your video options, the stop video up arrow will pull up a menu. And you can stop to blur my background.
There we go. Wonders of science.
There you go.
It is.
Get it away
Yeah.
from me. Jake.
So there's,
Up here, put it over here. There,
That was
There's
your
what the-
stand, okay.
get about, yeah, yeah.
Little higher, closer to your face. Yep, now we see it. Okay,
so it makes an easy, simple stand.
Tell us how you made that spiral so perfect.
You take 3 pieces of copper wire, clamp them in your lathe. Hold this end with a pair of pliers. Turn the lathe on and let it wrap.
Oh,
And just stop the lathe when you get the desired effect you like on the wrap.
okay. I've heard the same thing done, clamping the wires in a vise and then put a drill on it and then and run it. It's kind of the same concept.
Correct. That works as well.
Okay.
I
that'd be a
like-
really heavy duty drill to spin a vise. Just kidding.
I like the lathe because it's easier to put your hand on the tailstock, so it keeps it straighter as it winds. All right, now. So I've got to go open that thing and then come back and share. Oh. I probably lost that. Do you see that ornament? I'm assuming no.
To see you.
No, we just see you.
And now I come back here. Now I go here. How about now?
There's
Oh,
an
yeah.
ornament.
That's beautiful.
Get rid of some stuff here. Now, this is the series that came from the party. So I don't have details on who made this, and I wasn't at the party.
I made that one.
Ah, very good. So you can enlighten us.
Yeah, the body is hollow. It was first made as staves with maple and sapelli as the segments. And then it was rounded and hollowed out. I don't remember quite how I held that or put it on the lathe. And then I had some, I think that's ebony, that I had some small pieces of ebony that I made the top and the bottom finial from that. And that's one I gave away at the Christmas party last year.
Very nice.
I'm sorry, that was, I don't know if I gave that away at Christmas party or gave it to somebody else.
No, I have it.
That was a couple of years ago. Doug has it, right?
I have it, yes.
Who has it?
Jerry,
Oh, okay. Good. Hope you're enjoying it. That's right, Jerry. You sent me a picture of it hanging off of something.
yeah, I hung it outside for the birds.
Yeah, hopefully they've enjoyed it all year.
Particularly woodpeckers, right?
Well, I couldn't hang it on the tree because it was solid. It was really heavy. So we hung it in the
Yeah.
window.
Yeah, it was hollowed out, but not as thin walled as I would like. That would be an improvement for the next time.
And
Oh,
this,
wow.
I assume, is yours, Ken?
Yes, that too is mine. That's one that I know I did hand out, or I think I gave that away as an exchange at the last Christmas party.
Yeah, it showed up in the pictures.
Yeah.
Could you guys share with us where you get your little brass hooks?
Yes, I can do that. Amazon.
Okay,
It's not showing up. I've got my screen blurred. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but there's something like 300 different pieces in here. I've done it different ways. Oh, this one isn't even opened yet. But there's small screw eyes. And this happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different colors, different sizes. And it was very reasonably priced on Amazon. I can look that up and share it with people if you want.
thanks.
So you get quite a few of them.
Yeah, I think this one has something like 300 screw eyes. I'll never run out of these. And there's at least, looks like at least 3 different sizes in here. Let me open this up. For some reason, it's still closed.
And does that kit come with gold, silver, and black?
This kit, yeah, I looked around for quite a few different options, but this one does have gold, silver, copper, looks like bronze, and I don't know what this other color is. I don't know if you can
is a
see
really
any of
nice-
those.
I think I gotta stop sharing. There we go.
Yeah, this
There we go.
set has a whole, they're gonna spill out here if I'm not careful.
Yeah.
But I wish I had a better picture for you. I'll look that up and share that link with you, Bruce. But I looked at several different, I bought some others and didn't like them. But I came across this set and I haven't used it yet. But
Did it come
I-
with that box or was that your own organization box?
this one came with a box.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, some of the others came in plastic bags and they were a mess. This one, the advantage was not only the box, the number, the different sizes, the different colors. So it's a very good variety pack. I'll look that up.
1,610 pieces,
Oh, is that the one?
7 colors, $13.99.
Oh,
Yeah,
gee.
something like that. Okay, it's got a 5 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 6 millimeter eye, the size of the eyes. I just found a slip of paper in here that describes them. There's gold, silver, bronze, red, copper, gun black, white K, whatever that is, and KC gold. And there's 1,610 pieces in this set. So Howard, it sounds like you found that online already.
Yeah, KEADIC is the brand.
This one is, well, there may be different names for the same. This is SWPEET, sweet. But I'll still go ahead and share that link with you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Now, for those of you that are on a tight budget, the alternative way, the way I have made eyes, is I've taken some green florist wire and just bent it in two and then done the twisting trick on it. And it makes a nice little round green eyelet to go in the top of the ornament.
Yes, what I've also done in the past is I haven't made my own. I've seen the technique. I think I tried it once, not very successfully, but I have picked up small packets at Hobby Lobby or some of the other crafts stores, and they seem to be pretty expensive. And it was hard to find a variety, and it was hard to find the right sizes. Oftentimes they're much too large for the ornaments. So that's why I ended up with this Amazon selection.
Okay, now let's see if I can go back to the party. And there. Share screen. Did that work?
There it is.
Yes, we can see Ken holding an ornament.
Yeah, that was from last holiday dinner. So there's a picture of all of the ornament exchange. Each of these pictures is from that holiday dinner last year. I sent them to Bruce. I don't remember where some of these came from, so I need some help.
I think Rick Sommerfeld made that one. If I remember, I don't remember what it's made of.
Yes, Kathy, I think you're right. Rick Sommerfeld made that one.
Is that hollow on the inside?
Yes, it's sort of a mushroom shape, actually.
Okay.
I'd pull it out, but it's stored away somewhere with the Christmas items.
Not an ornament, that's a fancy card.
So that'd be Barry Walter.
That
It's-
would be my guess.
Yeah, that's one of his boxes that he likes to use the carving, what's it called?
Laser.
Laser, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's an inside out.
I don't remember who made that one. That might have been,
No,
I think Spence
wasn't
made
there.
that one.
Spence.
Oh,
wasn't
you're right.
there.
He wasn't there.
Yes.
that's right, he was in New Zealand. I don't remember who made that. That was carved by Dan Hall, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's pretty cute.
And I ended up with that.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
you tried to get it the year before. We made it hoping that you'd get it since, didn't you teach Dan how to carve?
Not really. He had a pretty good start on it. But he was at a carving group where I showed about a half an hour YouTube video of Dixie Biggs carving technique. And that's not for carving in the round like this is, but he uses it a lot on the stuff he turns and decorates.
Okay. Mark, do you remember who made that?
If I remember correctly, I think John Armstrong turned this. Very nice piece though.
Mhm. Is that two pieces, the top and the bottom, or is that a ring that sticks out?
I think he laminated pieces. It looks like probably cherry and the globe portion, but I think he laminated that and then before he turned it, and then the two top pieces are probably, I'm guessing, maple, and then he added those later. Probably drilled a hole, I'm guessing, but I didn't talk to John about it, so. Nice selection of colors though.
Okay,
That one was made by Kathy.
that one actually used 4 scraps of wood, one for the base of the snowman, one for the center, one for the head, and one for the hat. So that's actually 4 pieces that I put together just to use up scraps. And since I also do quilting, I decided to make a quilt to keep it warm. And helped me, I think that's copper wire for the arms, so that I could bend it. I didn't know how to bend the wire, so.
Yeah, is it copper wire? Bruce, can you zoom in on the snowman on this picture? Because the arms are kind of hidden there, but it's just I think the ground wire out of 12 gauge copper wire.
Yeah, I think that's right. So then I made the quilt to keep it warm. So
Very cute.
thanks.
So you could have put a little flat flange down here at the bottom.
We have a half hour before, or an hour before we have to leave.
No, all I like is putting my shoes top.
Okay.
Oh,
You're sure
Oh,
you-
okay.
I know, but
What do you?
this is
Bruce, what do you?
Tips and Grits in Prescott.
So Kathy, you put
I'll get ready and.
Okay.
Kathy, you put a quilt around a snowman to keep him warm.
Yes, of course.
I thought the snowman was supposed to stay cold.
Well, he was. It was actually insulation, keep him colder, right? We'll look at it the opposite way.
Well, Jerry, think about it. Why would a snowman wear a hat?
It was just so that I could combine both my hobbies into one project.
I love it. I think it's unique.
I think
And
it's cute. The only thing I'd have done is I'd have taken a flat board and put across the bottom to show the little puddle where the blanket was melting a little bit, you know.
Okay, there's always something more, huh? I don't remember. Oh, that was made by Ken Nelson. And it was, I think, 3 different woods, but I can't remember. It's packed away also. I don't remember who made that one.
That's pretty.
Looks like a piece of walnut with a top and a bottom that you would buy.
Mhm. And I don't remember who made that either. That was made by Chuck Brown.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, guys, but I've got to bail and nice job again, Bruce. Thank you very much for hosting.
You're welcome.
So,
Thanks for joining us, Mark.
I'll
And don't
see
forget
you-
your shoes.
My what?
Your shoes. Don't forget your shoes.
Oh,
I have them on already.
Okay.
See you guys later. Bye.
see ya.
Right. I made that one. If you back up, Bruce, it's one of those commercial ornament kits from Craft Supplies. They have 3 different designs. This one has the 3 beads on the bottom. There's another version that has just a straight point, and I think the third one is just sort of a globe on the bottom. I just used some scrap wood for that. It's very small, but it works fine.
Nice looking. I like it.
I made those just using a parting tool, spindle turning, and made a few of those for the stocking stuffer sale last year, and every one of them sold.
You keep the center the same size just by eyeball?
Yes. Actually, the one on the left is more the same size most of the way up. If you look carefully, the right side toward the top, I have tapered it down a little bit to match the form of the tree. But you have to be careful tapering it down because it's easy to snap it off.
At least that's what you've heard, right?
Yeah, don't ask me how I know. Uh, you may also notice from the left and right tree, comparing them, the spacing was by hand, and it's hard to get that spacing uniform. I put a piece of tape on my tool rest and marked it off, so I would have that spacing. But nonetheless, this is still done by hand and not machine, so it's off a little bit here and there.
Looks pretty even from this angle.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
Thanks. I made those a couple of years ago, the little gnomes. The body and hat are all turned as one piece. Noses are a little turned about toothpick size with a ball on the end of it. And the fur is just a fake fur that I got at Hobby Lobby. And it's a real pain to deal with that fake fur because where you cut it so you can glue it to the top edge under the hat, the fur parts just always want to come off. So in my opinion, they look great, but it's a one-time project for me.
People are into gnomes, so they do sell at the stocking stuffers some years, not always.
Yeah, I do think I sold most of these, several of these. I gave away some of them, but I think I sold every one that I took.
Okay, now.
Bruce, I have one thing to share since I'm the librarian. We do have one library book in our library. This is an AAW publication. It has a variety of Christmas ornament ideas. So if anybody wants to check it out, I'll have it out at the library since you did this. so that people can see. It has things like making Christmas light ornaments. There's one about an inside out wine bottle with the glass in it. There's quite a variety. There's angels, there's trees, just a variety of different ideas if anybody wants more ideas. So I'll have that out at the library.
Cool. Thank you. Now then, one more, if I can find it. I don't know that I can. Let me think. I had this queued up, and then when I got rid of all the screens, I lost it. Because I found where we had a bunch of things that Christmas ornaments. Way back in 2017. Here we go. Now I got to get back. Here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And those are some urchin shells and finials that somebody had made. And then there you can see the, I think Gary Frank did the Christmas trees this way. And there's, there we go. And then there was one other one. Yeah, too complicated to get it. I had one ornament that I had made that was out of koa
Out of what?
wood. When I went to Hawaii, I did a demo for the group on Maui. And he gave me a piece of koa and I turned it into an ornament.
Bruce, you might want to unpin Kathy.
Okay.
She was the star of the show.
Yeah, I don't mind looking at her. It's just that you were speaking at the time and it wasn't her mouth wasn't moving.
Okay. So there's speaker now. There we go. Remove spotlight.
Yep, back to you.
And now. Not a very good picture, but
Let's see. Oh, yeah.
stop. But I did the Nope. Well, now I've really messed it up. The finials, the koa was a round piece in the center. And you can't see very well in this. But the there we go. Texturing tool
Oh, yeah, I can see it in there. That is
designed the inside. And that's in the days when I was still learning how to do CA glue. And all those shiny things are little sequins I glued in. And unfortunately, you can see where the CA glue stained the wood as I put it around them. And then the red is just simply a little pen to add the circle inside that little feature in the center.
Bruce, what do you do now to avoid the CA stains?
For one thing, I learned to use the little tiny application device that goes on the end of the tube of glue. So you control it much better. And put just a very small dot in the center of that, where that bead would be.
Have you found anything effective for treating wood when you're CA in a crack and you don't want it to bleed through? What have you found successful for keeping it from staining?
Haven't been particularly, I've tried some shellac before you apply the CA to the crack. And that seems to work a little bit. But when you get down in, sometimes it still does bleed throughout from the crack outwards.
I do it all the time and I find spray on lacquer works perfect.
Good.
And then the other thing I like to tell people, because I get asked that question a lot in forums and worldwide Woodturners, is just do a CA finish and then it makes it all the same color anyway.
Gotcha. There's one of those wire loops that I made for the ornament,
Oh, yeah.
where you just take it and turn a loop on a wire and it becomes a nice little holder. Okay. What else? Anybody have anything?
If you want to spotlight me, I'll show you what I came home and made yesterday after you told me we were going to do Christmas ornaments and I didn't have any. So I made another one real quick.
Gotcha.
Let me flip my camera that way. Okay, so standard Christmas bell. We've probably all made 100,000 of these. But what I do, instead of using the eye hook, you can see that looks a little different. That is a barrel swivel out of the tackle box. And that way they'll spin.
Very nice.
And so the way it works is, oh, you're never going to be able to see it. Okay, I'll try to explain it. So you've got your standard little Christmas jingle jangle.
Mm-hmm.
And then a split shot weight out of the tackle box. Fishing line. And then the barrel hook. And so when I am making the bell on the lathe, I'll put the largest Forstner bit in there that won't blow out the thin part of the bell. And my Forstner bits have the brad point. So then that will leave the center hole And then I'll stick just a regular, very tiny drill bit in my Jacob's chuck and drill all the way through before I ever part the bell off. And that way I know my hole is perfectly centered up there. Then I'll drop the fishing line down in, tie the bell on first. Then I gently put the split shot on. I don't crimp it down yet until I play around with the length of the fishing line and get the bell where I want it. Then on the other side, I'll tie the barrel swivel on and get it just down as tight to the bell as I can. And then that way, the split shot and the barrel swivel keep the line from moving either direction. And the bell will stay set in there. And then I just add the standard Christmas hook to it. And that way it'll do a full 360.
So the split shot assures the bell will hang loose.
Correct. Yep. Yep. That's how I do it.
Now, come spring, if you troll that behind the boat, will a bass go after it?
I think so. I haven't tested it yet, but I think, yeah, I don't know.
Doug, how do you hold the pencils for your resin casting in this case?
So this one was made out of a Pringles can. So let's see, oh, it's back on Ken. If you put it back on me, I'll show you.
You're talking, so it's on you, I believe.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I keep the leftover Pringles cans. The bells though, let's see, I think I see one up here. Snack size cans. Those work perfect for bells, little snowmen. The resin does not soak through the sides. So the pencils will all go in, fill it with resin, throw it in the pressure pot. Now, I've done it a few different ways, but I don't like the spinning aluminum razor blades on either side when it's on the lathe. So before I take it to the lathe, I'll either take it to my bandsaw or my miter saw and I slice them off. I have done it between centers and just use the parting tool to get rid of them, but I feel like I save more material by using the bandsaw. So that's what I've been mostly doing. Some people won't feel safe doing it because it's not in a jig. So if you don't feel safe doing it, then don't do it. There's, like I said, the safest way is put it on the lathe, put it between centers, use the parting tool, and then your fingers are nowhere near spinning blades or anything. But these little guys can get pretty sharp when they're spinning. So that's how I do those ones.
Thank you.
And then a little bit different topic, but if you guys aren't doing anything and want something to do today, I'm working on that bad boy and I'm gonna put my Carter hollow roller system on there. If you have never seen one of those in action and you want to see one today, let me know and you can come on by.
Wow. How thin is your wall now?
It's not. I just started it last night, and then this was how far I got when I said I'm done for the night. So
Oh, okay.
this was all done with just the standard bowl gouge. And then yeah, so I'll put the hollow roller on there today, and then I'll get it down, and I won't go super thin because this has some pretty horrendous cracks in it. And
Yeah, I don't think I'd stand in line with that.
no, that's why I was inviting somebody else over so they could. That way they can tell me if it's starting to come apart or not. Just kidding.
What a guy. Okay, does anybody have anything else?
Bruce, I did post that Amazon link on the chat function here for everybody.
Okay.
don't see it on chat.
I do.
Oh, okay. Also just be aware that the chat will not be recorded.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see it in chat either, so I wonder if you're only
You
seeing it
sent
because
to
you're the
me
host.
directly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
It was set up to send only to Bruce. I can send the same thing to everybody. My mistake.
Let's
Bear with me a
see
moment.
if I could forward it.
I'm gonna have to leave you, Bruce. I got a PT I need to go see.
Okay.
And I'll talk to you later.
Good
Thank
seeing you,
for-
Bill.
Thanks for joining us, Bill.
Yeah,
Take care, Bill.
Take care,
I'm
Bill.
trying.
If you're feeling better. Okay, now it came through.
Okay, I just sent it to everyone instead of just Bruce. There's
Okay,
the description on the page, or it's not the description, that's the, whatever the headliner for that page, and then the link that, at least on my computer, that link gets you there.
Perfect.
Yeah, if you click on it now, you'll have it, but I know that from past experience, it won't record in the recording.
It does save the chat, but it says a separate item. It doesn't save it in the recorded video, but
Right.
it does save a separate chat file.
And then if you're on an iPhone, you can't, or an iProduct, an Apple product, you can't really save it yourself. But those of you that are using Androids, you should be able to save it straight to your device. I'm not sure how it's done, but in Worldwide Woodturners, at the end of the meeting, everybody reminds everybody to save the chat. And all of us that use Apple products have never been able to do it. And everybody with the Android products don't have an issue. So I don't know how they do it, but there is a way.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
Worked for
Another
me.
way the Apple's trying to protect you.
Yeah.
On my page right now with the chat open, in my case, it's on the right-hand side of the screen, down below where you would type in the message, there are some icons and there's a ... for more. And when I click on that, it pops up save chat as a function. So others may be able to save it that way to your computer. Or your iPhone in that case.
Cool.
I was gonna just mention something, Bruce, if you give me a second.
Got it.
I appreciate Kathy and Ken giving us that little demo at their home one day, their garage workshop. I never did do the sample piece that you gave me, but I took one yesterday. My wife has this chess set. And so I
You can,
attempted to copy that.
can you
using
unmute
those.
your background? It's hard to see it.
Yeah,
Hold it
Pete, you
close
need to
so you can see it.
unblur.
Let's see if I can figure that out.
Go down to your stop video icon, hit the up arrow, pulls up a little menu, and you can uncheck the blur my background.
I think that was on. Let me try that.
Lower left-hand corner.
Sorry, I'm not that familiar with this thing. Let's see. No, I guess I don't see it. I've got the next go, but I don't see where that clicks up. You're thinking it'll.
The easiest way, if you're looking at the screen where you see us,
Yeah.
lower left, there's a mute button and a video button.
Okay.
Click the up caret, the up arrow on the video button,
Yep,
and it'll pull up a menu.
There you go. Got
got
it.
it.
That did it. Good.
Now show us the chess piece.
So I took this, I don't know if that's any better for you or not.
Yeah, a little closer to your chin. There you go.
So I took that chess piece and then I took my little form tool next to it.
Oh,
Oh, look.
wow.
That idea.
Nice.
And then I took, of course, and followed your plan, and that was to put the drawing together on it.
Uh-huh.
But, and then this is what I ended up with.
Nice.
Very good.
So
Awesome.
I made
Very
the
nice
little-
duplication. Very good.
Sorry. I made this head. I noticed that I didn't measure the diameter before I got excited and parted it off. But my wife says, just leave it, you know, it looks good. But
Mhm.
It does
hey,
look
I
good.
have to say, Kathy, that technique that you were teaching us about holding the caliper and then using the, you know, the gouge, I have to work on that because it took longer to do this work because I would stop the lathe and then check the dimension and then, you know, ease up on it a little bit more. But that's the only part. The rest of it, of course, I took a datum line. I kind of preferred to come from the one side over, and I would be able to get the high and low points and mark them on the round piece. But it was actually setting the diameters, which was the trickier part for me. It slowed the process down. So I just have to practice some more, but
It's not a speedy process.
you kind of got me inspired to do that. Plus I was working on some crush grinder, pepper mills. So I thought I'd work my beads and code practice a little bit, but I enjoyed doing it. It was fun to use that process. But this little gauge kind of helped me start out if you don't have the drawing.
Mhm. Yeah, I think,
Anyway, I appreciate you guys getting me thinking about that.
yeah,
So,
that's nice. Yeah, Dennis Egan brought that gauge to show me after that demo. And it's not something that we have, but it would be helpful if you're replicating very often. But you did a nice job. What kind of wood is that?
I'm not sure. I ended up picking it up from one of the, club sales, and it has it looks like it's a mixture, a little bit of a color saturation of, the white and the dark in there. Hard to say, but it's unfinished because I didn't want to touch it until I could look at it. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. I've just got to work out. And I remember you telling me how you learned that you leaned your left hand, I think, up on the base of the head, lathe,
Yeah.
and used that as hold the caliper while you held your gouge against the tool rest. But I was moving between a caliper and an actual measuring caliper, but it just something I got to work on because it slowed it down. But
It does, but when you're being accurate, I stop and start frequently. It isn't until I'm close to the size I need to be that I start using the caliper to get really close. I don't use it all the time,
okay,
if that helps. But approximating to start with is helpful, and then it's just the finesse of it helps you get closer.
I think the other thing that I kind of experienced is it seemed as though when I was doing this, I wanted to start with the largest diameters, which these two were equal, and then almost run it straight across, and then take the next largest diameter, go across, and that way it kind of kept me so that I, was seeing the form come together.
Mhm.
But, you guys probably are better at, you guys with more experience are better at visualizing that through, but that's kind of how I made sure that I wasn't cutting into the piece that I needed to, form.
Don't give us too much credit, Pete.
Yeah.
But you're highlighting the problem of duplication is how do you measure it to make it exactly the same?
Mhm.
And,
Right.
the technique of having the calipers on there while you are using a parting tool to establish that diameter is just one technique. Stopping it frequently is something I do also. I'm not a production turner, so in my case, that's not a big deal. But duplication is difficult, and that was part of the point of that whole Tuesday demo, to get people to try it and find out it's not as easy as it may look.
And I think if I were to make a complete set, instead of using this as the guide, because it will move, I would almost make a little template and use that template to kind of make sure that I've got the shape that I want duplicated. But that would be if I was going to make a whole chess set, something like that.
I've done that with cardstock before because it's easy to hold up and
Right.
in that area. It doesn't last long, but it is an easy way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've used cardstock to try to duplicate the shape of some salad bowls.
Okay.
The serving salad bowls. And you can, if you're going to do a lot of them, you could also transfer that shape onto some thin wood of some sort.
Yeah.
But the cardboard seems to last pretty well as long as you're not too abusive. Nonetheless, even with a template like that, it's hard to get a duplication just right. And that's why Kathy had a good term when she was doing her three-legged stool, that the three legs are not identical, but they're in the same family.
Mhm.
And that's good enough.
All right.
Sometimes that's all you can take. I have to credit Dennis Egan. That's his statement. So
Fun. Anyway, well, thanks, you
Yeah.
guys. Appreciate
Well, I'm
it.
glad you tried it, Pete. That's going to be a very big chess set by the time you're done.
Oh,
The
it's
king is
yeah,
probably going to be about 3 feet tall.
She has it. We have it downstairs. It's about a 3 foot by 3 foot board. So you don't sit real close when you're sitting there playing with that.
You'll have to share it with us when you're done.
Right. Thanks.
Two
Thank you.
thoughts come to mind. If you're trying to use a template and you want a little more rigid one, probably a little piece of tempered masonite will work very well.
Right. I was
Because
thinking,
it's thin and it would hold the shape for a little longer period of time.
right. Easy to cut on the bandsaw and kind of form your shape that way. And then that's what I was thinking. Those are about 1/8 of an inch thick, I think.
Correct.
Another option is if you have some formica, extra piece of formica around of the right
Yes.
size, that'll hold its shape very well, and you can
Yep.
shape it on your wood turning tools.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's about half the thickness of the tempered masonite. So
they also have thin, kind of like a cutting board thing at the dollar store. You can get like 3 in a pack and
Oh,
just with scissors. It's pretty, it's bendable, but it's actually pretty easy to work with. You could just do that with scissors and it would last a long time.
Right. Right.
the other thing is I get nervous with calipers and trying to do that cut. So I've got a pair of dividers that are, OD dividers that I've rounded the points on. So I'm
Right.
not worried about it catching anything. And that's what I use to hold my shape and then just
Okay.
turn down to that diameter.
Bruce, that's what we use too. I call them calipers, but they are the dividers for an
Right.
outside diameter, and the tips have been rounded off. And then if I need something exact, then I get the calipers out and do a measurement with the lathe off. But while the lathe is on, I use the, I keep wanting to say calipers, but the dividers.
Divider.
Yeah.
Divider, yeah. Mhm.
All right. Anybody have anything else? If not, I want to thank you one and all for joining us today and for sharing all your ideas. And we will see you next time.
Thank you again, Bruce, for hosting this.
Yep, great
Not a
meeting.
problem.
Thank you,
Good to
guys.
see
Nothing
everybody
without you
online.
guys.
Bye-bye. Have a good
Bye-bye.
week.
Take care. Bye.